Hey YouTube, Adam the Piper here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Smoking a K Woody flame grain, and in it, McBaron's plum cake. Quite a nice tobacco. Just recently acquired this pipe, like as of today, from a fellow YouTuber. Thanks again. Um, Going back and forth on Facebook a little bit with one of the people following me, one of my friends. Um, Sparked up a really good topic. You know, let me get to it here really quick. For someone who would be new to pipe smoking, how would you recommend them to get started? I really don't have a good answer for that because only you can decide what you want. Everybody's taste buds are different. You know, I guess for me, I would say, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that would disagree with this, go get yourself a cheap, not a cheap, but get a good corncob pipe. Excuse the birds, it's daytime, so they're a little more talkative. Get a good corncob pipe. Get a Missouri Meerschaum. You know, that's the easy part. Get a pipe. Try something. I mean, it's going to be trial and error. You're going to find things that you like. You're going to find things that you don't like. And unfortunately, nobody can make up the decision for you of what to tell you what to go buy. I got a Dr. Grable. I always had this fascination. You know, we all know the story about my first pipe. I would say probably hold off on getting a briar. Get yourself a good corn cob. This is just an example. You know, they're nothing fancy. They're nothing. They're just a good pipe. You know, and they're a lot more forgiving. Then you don't have a whole lot of money spent into briar pipes. As far as tobaccos go, I know when I first started, aromatics was the way I started. Kind of got me used to flavors and stuff like that, you know, and I still to this day, you know, I'm not a big fan of aromatics, and, you know, I've never really said one way or the other. Not that I'm against them, and I don't want to bash anybody or discourage anybody from trying them because aromatics are good. It's just not something that fell in my flavor pool. So aromatics, you know, if you want to get away from an aromatic, you know, I don't consider like Prince Albert, Sir Walter Raleigh, Carter Hall, you know, lots of great over the counter. Start there. Don't go and buy a $150 pipe and start buying all this tobacco until you kind of get the idea. First of all, if you like it, you know, if it's something that, you know, you enjoy it, because there's a lot of great over the counter blends. If you find an over the counter blend that you enjoy, kind of get yourself used to a rhythm of smoking so you're not overheating a pipe, so you don't get burnout, don't get tongue bite, you know. And then the other biggest thing is don't get discouraged if the pipe keeps going out, because it's better to have to relight a pipe than to give yourself tongue bite. And a lot of times too, if you're smoking it that slow, you're going to get all the full flavors of the tobacco. You're going to start tasting more things because you're not just going to get this hot blast of heat, which I do a lot. It's my own fault. I know what I'm doing wrong, you know, but it's just one of those deals, you know. And I guess he brought something up, you know, cigar smoking. You know, I'm an idiot when it comes to cigars. There's a few cigars that I've had I thoroughly enjoy, and people are going to laugh when I call this a cigar, but I like the old school Swisher Sweet cigars, not the sweet tips, if I want a cigar. Or I'll just stop by at the liquor store when I'm in buying something. I might pick up a $10 whatever it is. You know, cigars to me have a lot different tastes. I've never found a cigar that I'd say I'd smoke on a regular basis. Factory Throwouts, good cigar. I think for me, my flavor's fine. They're relatively inexpensive. You can get 20 of them for, I think I gave $40, you know. But at cigars, I'm not going to smoke them. Nothing against or knocking people who do smoke them, but you know, pipes, as far as pipes go, to start out, I would say, if for me, if giving anybody advice, get a corncob pipe. It'll give you the experience. And corncob pipes, I love my corncob pipes. You rarely see me with one just because whenever I have one that I take with me to work, the wind's blowing, I don't have to worry about burning out a briar pipe. You know, get a corncob pipe. You know, find something that's pleasant to look at through your eyes. You know, you're gonna have to experiment with tobaccos, and I'm sure all of us on the YTPC can relate to this. It can get expensive trying to find a tobacco that you like, but be open-minded. You know, don't rush into things. Don't think that you're gonna get it and instantly fall in love with a tobacco, because I still order new tobaccos that I absolutely cannot stand. Second thing, let me relight my pipe quick, please. Get a tamper. Tampers come in many shapes, forms, sizes. I guess for me, you know, get something that has, get a check tool. They're simple, they work, they're inexpensive. You know, for starting out, these were great. I still use one of these at work just because if I lose it, I'm out $1, $1.50. You know. Then they've got things like this. You know, and they all come with the same attachments for the most part. You know, you got your tamper on this end. You know, and I call it a poker. The poker and the tamper more than the other part, you know, for reaming and cleaning. Swish around the inside of the bowl when you're done. Knock out the rest of the ash. Do not knock your pipe on the side of an ashtray up against your boot, a curb. You know, get something that's got a cork in it, or like I did with my first ashtray. Took a 97-cent Walmart ashtray, put a rubber cork in it, hot glued it down, something just to knock on. They got fancier things like this, you know. It's got a little scraper poker tool. They work good too. But for starting out, start with the basics. You know, lots of great information out here on YouTube. I'm not probably the best person to ask about pipe smoking, you know. Just Google it, or in the search box, you know, YTPC, you know, lots of way better presenters than myself, you know. Few guys off the top of my head, Mutton Chop Piper, I believe it was, awesome guy. Matches 860, the list goes on, you know. There, and I think Cigars International has one. I mean, lots of great information out there. It's just, you got to look for it a little bit, you know. And as far as tobaccos, just, I'd start with whatever is readily available. If you can walk into a grocery store or a drugstore, you know, and they have Sir Walter Raleigh or Prince Albert or any of the over-the-counter blends, it's a great way to start, you know, and it gets you in a rhythm. And none of them are bad blends. You know, if you want something that's flavored, you know, maybe you've seen or smelt something that somebody else is smoking, unless you know for sure what it is, it's going to be hard to judge that right away. Cherries are a big one to start with. Borkum Riff, I'm not a big cherry flavored guy. Borkum Riff, I'm not a big fan of. They have one. Captain Black has one that's not too bad. From time to time, I have a pouch of it in my cellar. From time to time, I load up a corn cob if I got a sweet tooth. It just depends upon what you're looking and wanting. But I mean, that's a good way and a very inexpensive way to start out, you know. So tamper, Missouri Meerschaum Legends are cheap. I think they're $5-6, you know, and then Sir Walter Raleigh or whatever. You know, do a little experimenting, listen to some guys with some reviews. I wouldn't jump into buying stuff like maybe personal thought, plum pudding, I'm sorry, plum cake, plum pudding, you know, they're great. It's something I had to work myself up to. You know, I was already an established pipe smoker up till the point where I bought my first premium tobacco, which would have been plum pudding. Loved it, you know, but it was one of those ones too where I opened up the tin and it blew me back for a minute. What is this? Had I smelt that prior to being a pipe smoker, chances are I probably wouldn't have kept smoking it. So it's one of those deals. It's hard to say. Talk to people in the YTPC. Everybody in this community, awesome people to deal with. More than willing to answer questions. You know, you can get me on Facebook, Adam the Piper. I'm on Voxer under Adam the Piper. Don't be afraid to ask. You know, talk to people, and guarantee you there is nobody in this community that will shun you out or question you for asking questions like that. There's just other better people than me. That's just my word of advice. So anyway, guys, got to get running. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Happy smoking. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.